Hello everyone, welcome to MBA Karo. CAT 2024 is just a few days away, and you must be uh, all prepared for the examination. When it comes to the DILR section, it is considered the most difficult section, the most unpredictable one, and people get nightmares when they see DILR. They fail to attempt even one set. Most of the people fail to attempt even one set in the examination. That is evident from the scores that students get. Okay, so in this video, we are not going to solve any sets, but I'm going to teach you certain things that CAT DILR has been testing. So there are some patterns which you need to identify. And if you have solved past year papers, I kept saying that one must solve past year papers 2017 to 23 at least. If you have solved those papers since I created the solutions recently, I realized that there has been some pattern which has been repeating. So in this video, I'm going to talk about all such patterns, and if you are able to decipher such patterns in the examinations, the set is yours. Last year, when I attempted the examination, I was able to solve all four sets in 35 minutes itself. I mean, which in itself is a big achievement. And the reason was two of the sets which I was attempting was on similar logic which had come in past year examinations. So there was one set on keeping boxes. There were boxes, and in that you had to put coins, and it was 9 by 9 matrix. Similar set had been asked in 2019. Similarly, there was one question of funding. That funding was increasing by 1 crore, 2 crore, etc. Similar set was in 2022 in a different format. That scores were increasing by 1 or 2. So, if you have this thing in mind, that what are some of the frequent logics tested by CAT in the past few years, you will be able to click things fast. You will be able to understand, okay, this is something that we need to think of, and instantly able to solve such questions. So watch this video till end, and if you find it useful, don't forget to share it with your friends also. If you are new to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and if you are preparing for CAT 2025, follow this channel, the videos on this channel, to learn amazing techniques to solve questions in quant and DILR. So let's talk about some basic things, right? These are some basic things which people do not work upon, like odd even sum, and same goes with product also. So when you add two odd numbers, you get an even number. Okay, very simple thing. You add any two odd numbers, 3 plus 5 gives you 8. If you take any large number also, you will this property will follow. Even plus even is even, and odd plus even is odd. The very basic thing. Same goes with multiplication also, right? If you have odd into odd, that will be odd. If you do odd into even, that will be even. And if you do even into even, that will be even. Now, you must be wondering that why this stupid thing to know, everyone knows that. But CAT DLR tests you on such things. Let us see how. Now, this was a question which was asked in CAT 2022, although I did not appear in this slot. But while solving this set, I was able to make these calculations very fast, right? So it was like you can check this set for the entire instructions and all. It said that you have to deliver widgets, and these are the demands. So it will be either 50 or 70, it will be 30 or 50, 40 or 60. One of these two values will happen. Now it was given that the total number delivered is 250 units. So we had to make a combination of four numbers out of these eight that should total to 250, right? Now students fear such things. They think, "Arey, kitne sare combination banenge?" Isn't it? That is what thing comes to our mind, that how many combinations we'll have to make it to get that 250. Now I will tell you that simple logic which we just discussed will help you solve this instantly. How? First of all, if it is 250, all are multiples of 10, ignore it. So we need to make 25, right? Now 25 we need to make. 25, how will we make? This is odd number. This is also odd number, 3 or 5. Whatever it is, it will be odd number. Odd plus odd will give you some even number, right? And this is an even number. So odd plus odd is even plus even is even. So far, adding these three values has given us an even number. And we need to add some number to even number to get 25. Now, even plus odd is odd. We have to get total 250. I mean, we are ignoring the zero part. So we need to add odd. So we know that it is going to be 70. Yeah, so that makes us very simple to figure out that it is going to be 70. Now, if you take out 70 from 250, we are left with 180. Okay, now another thing which is important in extreme sums. Okay, now if you see the higher end of the totals, 7 plus 5 is 12, 12 plus 6 is 18, or like adding the zeros back it becomes 180. So we could easily figure out that the numbers are these. So for an average aspirant, it might take entire 2-3 minutes to figure out this combination. You can do it much faster. So some basic logics to figure out how to add numbers. That is what DILR tests you. So one of the logics is this odd even sum. Similarly, there was one set in CAT 2022 slot 2. Okay, that or 21 rather, it was 21 slot 2. That was on objects. You can check out those solutions on my YouTube channel Aptitude Jab. So that was objects. The total is even, right? How do we get that? So this logic will help you in such problems. Next is sum of distinct numbers. I mean, you should know that how to add different numbers to get a particular sum. So if you look at this question, which was from CAT 2021, it said that you have to give a rating from 1 to 9. Okay, here I would like to tell you something. It sometimes it becomes ambiguous in DILR when we say 1 to 9, right? Sometimes it is saying between 1 and 9. Now people think that it is between 1 and 9. Ideally, between means that 1 and 9 should not be included. But at times, here it is clear 1 to 9, but sometimes it will be between 1 and 9. There have been such cases wherein they have taken the extremes also. So check both things. If you do not get any value by taking the central numbers, check for the extreme numbers also. Now here it is clear that it has to be from 1 to 9. And now it is given that Ravi received distinct rating points in packaging. Okay, so he gave in packaging, he got 4 distinct ratings adding up to 29. Okay, now few logical thing is 29, if you take the average, like 4 people are giving the rating. Okay, so there are the data is missing. There were 4 people who gave him rating. So 4 on an average is 7.25. So which is a high number. Like out of 9, if he's getting average 7 rating, that is a high number. So that means it is one of the extreme values. Could be one of the extreme values, right? Very high values. So let us check the highest possible rating that he can get. 9876. That adds to 30. Okay, he is getting 29. Now how to figure out this 29 is we have to subtract 1 from this. Now if I subtract 1 from it, we will get 8876, which is not possible because 8 is repeating. Similarly, if I subtract 1 from it, it would have become 9776, which is also not possible. If I subtract 1 from it, it would become 9866, which is also not possible. If I subtract 1 from it, I will get 9875. So this was the distinct rating that the person can get. So if there are extremes, you can figure out these values. Okay, so this was one of the extreme values and addition of distinct numbers. So this is another logic which is often tested. And if you solve Kakuro, okay, you already know these logics, right? Because when I was attempting this set, instantly I was able to get that okay, it is going to be 9875. But for an average aspirant, it would have taken a very long time to figure out okay, how to get that 29. See, it is about knowing these minute things, minute number based logics that will enable you to solve things much faster than others. Next is adding of small numbers. CAT often tests you on addition of small numbers and how, like combination of numbers. Let us see a few examples. Now the same thing, it said that there were 4 people who rated and either he got a bonus of 20 rupees or he may give a tip. Tip is either 30 or 50 rupees, right? So that was the condition given. He made 4 deliveries, same set we are discussing about. These are the 4 people and he received total 120 in bonus and tips. right? Bonus and tips. He did not get both a bonus and a tip. So he will not get both bonus and tip. So there are four people, right? So either he will get bonus or he will get tip, total 120. Now let us think that how can we make it 120. So using 235, we have to make 12. Like one can remove the zero and think fast. Like 235, you need to make 12. So if you make 235, we get 10. We have to make 12 from four people, right? So we can have 2235, that will make it 12. So that is one possibility. Okay. Now it is also possible that you have 255, that will also make 12, isn't it? So it is saying that he did not get both a bonus and a tip from the same customer, but it is not necessary that may or may not give a tip. Okay, may or may not give a tip, and some people might give. He might get bonus from some deliveries, right? So one of the possibilities is 255 to 5, and another possibility could be 3333 also. That could make 12, isn't it? So you should be able to find such different combinations and then decide based on the conditions that which condition will fit in the case. Let's take another example which appeared last year, CAT 2023, considered to be a difficult set, but I would not say that it is very difficult. Okay. See, it says that, like, instructions, you would have to read what does this housing structure mean. So there are two blocks, X, Y, and all. So it was given that there is base price, which is 10 lakhs, okay, and if it does not have a parking space, and 12 lakhs if it has a parking space. So base price is 10 or 12, okay, depending on parking. If there is no parking, it is 10, otherwise it is 12. On top of that, there is a vacant house, like vacant house is there, and there are 5 into road adjacency value. So if there is a road over here in next to the house, that will be 5 into number of roads. So suppose the house is here, there are two roads, so it will additionally be 10 lakhs. Okay, similarly if the house is here, there is only one road, so it will be 5 lakh extra. Okay, so that was 5 into roads and 3 into neighbor count, 3 into number of neighbors. So for example, D2 has one neighbor, two neighbors, so it can have two neighbors, right? E1 can have one, two, three possible neighbors. Okay, so that was the condition given here. Now, it is given that the maximum quoted price of a house in block XX is 24 lakhs. Here we are getting a maximum of 24 lakhs. Okay. Now, suppose the base price is 10. Let us consider without parking. Okay. Can we get 14 from, like, how we need to get total 24? How can we make 24 from 10? You will say we can add in terms of 5 or 3. Okay, so we can make 3 3 3 and 5. That is one possibility. Like 3 3 3, that will make it 19 plus 5 24. Can we add 5 3 times? 5 5 5 will make 25. 5 5 will make 10, right? So 2 times 3 times it is not working. We are not able to generate 24 in such manner. Acha, oh, if we have 12, so we will need to generate 12 more, and 12 can be generated by 3333. Now, neighbor means 3 and road means 5. Now, can a person have 4 neighbors? Can you see any house with 4 neighbors? So, this is a house, one, two, three neighbors, it can have maximum. So, this case is not possible. Now, how do we get 24? That means 3 neighbors and one road. Okay, so the house should have three neighbors and one road. Okay, so if you put, let us say, a house this side, you will only have two neighbors, so we cannot put house on this road. Instead, if you take this house, there are three neighbors, one, two, three neighbors and a road here. Road and three neighbors it can have. So that's how you figure out. I mean, of course, it is not that instantly you will get it. It will take some time, but instead of taking too many combinations, this is the logic that it is testing. How can you get 24 from 10 or 12? By adding in terms of 3 or 5. Similarly, On block YY, the minimum price is 15 lakhs. Okay. Now 15 can happen how? 10 plus 5, similarly 12 plus 3. I'm not saying that you will be able to solve this within 30 seconds, but the ability to think that how can we get 15 using 10, 12, and 3 and 5. So it can be 10 plus 5, or it could be 12 plus 3. So that means 10 with a road. So this can be also 10 plus 5, because it, suppose it does not have any neighbor flats, and 5 lakh of the road. Okay, it can be of some other person with no road and neighbor. Suppose this is the house which has no road in front of it. Okay, and a neighbor is there. There is no road available, but a neighbor is available, and these are occupied houses. Okay, so that is how one can solve it, although there were other conditions also for this. So one had to utilize those conditions. This was just a condition. What I mean to teach you in this is how to think through problems, how to try to add numbers to get that combination. So it is about getting the combination of numbers, and which is often tested in CAT. Next is about average. Okay, often tested concept. What happens in average is a central value. Okay, if you have different values, right? If you have all values equal, then average is equal to the same value. But if values are different, so average will be greater than the least value and smaller than the highest value. So it has to be somewhere in between. It's a central number. Okay, so how has CAT been testing average based questions? CAT 2020, question based on averages. So it says that, like you can see the solution of this set on my channel. About that, how the average is calculated. It says that if you miss one examination, they take top. So if a student missed one examination, they were the average of the best three scores. And if a person misses two examinations, then it is best two, average of best two, right? Now this was a difficult set, no doubt in that, but how to figure out that which is going to be the average? And this was the time when CAT had five sets, right? In 2020 CAT had five sets and 40 minutes. I was able to solve four completely, fifth one I did half. And this was one of the sets which I solved during the examination. Now, if you see this, this cannot be that average, because this cannot be the average, because average is never the lowest value. The values are different. Average cannot be the least value. This also cannot be the average. 80 is the highest value, isn't it? 80 cannot be the average. So the average has to be either 75 or 70. Okay. Now, what does it say? The question says that if you miss one examination, then average of best three scores is taken. Okay. So we do not know that whether a person is missing one examination or two exam. So we will have to make cases. So suppose a person is missing only one examination. So we will take the top three values, 80, 75. Now see this thing. If you take 75 here again, right, you are seeing the value is going down, right? It is not that level. Instead of that, the average, like if you take these as top three, this should be the average of, if you take top three values, 75 will be the average. Okay. So the average will be 75. Now we will take the second scenario where the person misses two exams. Suppose the person misses two examinations. So it will be the average of top two, right? Now if you take top two, 80 and 75, the average is quite high, right? Which is not present here. So that means 75 is, it may not be the score. But if you take 80 and 70, that means 75 is the average. So that means the person has missed either science examination or Hindi examination or both exams. Okay, so that is how one would have figured out the average. Similarly, for the second examination, if you take 90 and 80, there were other conditions also given. One had to use that also. So if you take this cannot be the average, right? This cannot be that average. So average can be 85 or 80. Right. Now, if you take 90 and 80 as the top two, 85 becomes the average. If you take top three as 90, 85, and 80, 85 becomes the average. So that means these two could be those subjects. So there were other conditions also. One had to use those conditions effectively to figure out what will be the average. Okay. So like this, you had to solve this set. So average is another thing that they test frequently. Now last year there was a question on mean median mode. So average concept says that average is sum upon number of values. And if you are given the average and the number of values, that means indirectly they have given you the sum of the values, isn't it? So we are given the mean rating, so we know that the total rating is already given to us. The total rating of all these five are given to us indirectly. Okay. Similarly, these totals are also given to us. So one had to make a table like this: R1, R2, R3, R4, R5, and UVW XY. So this total is known to us, and these totals were known to us. So totals were given. There were a couple of conditions also in which the values were given to us, right? Now, median and mode. Okay, what is median? Median is the central value. Median is the central value in terms of ascending or descending. Now, we are given that, so some of the values were given. A person got a rating of 5, a rating of 1. So if you solve this set, you will understand it better because all the conditions are not present over here. So Vasu had got a median rating of 4 and his total is 19 in 5 ratings. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means the third value is 4. Okay. Now it does not mean that this has to be less than 4, this has to be greater than 4. It is possible that this can also be 4, this can also be 4, but this value is definitely 4. Similarly, let us say Yusuf. Yusuf will have 3 values, 5 values. The center value is 3. This can also be 3, this can also be 3. Okay, so that is what is meant by median. Mode means something that has the highest frequency, highest number of times. So maximum people gave him 2 points. Maximum people gave him 1 and 4 points. So two people should have given him 1 and 2 people should have given him a rating of 4. So based on the given conditions and the table that you would have filled, this would have enabled you to fill the set. So you can check out all these solutions. I've created those solutions to approach these problems. So average is another concept which could be tested in DILR this time. Next is weighted average, right? What is weighted average? Weighted average is basically grand total upon total values. Or rather, they will not say weighted average. They give you the weights, not exactly, I mean, it is reverse of weighted average. They give you the weights of items and you need to find those values. So let us see that example. Now, this was a set given in CAT 2018. So it says that there are different weights like zero point 0.1, 0.2, 0.3 and zero point 0.4 are the weights that are given to these particular uh, uh, like categories. Okay. And then accreditation has to be made using these. And how one had to make this is for A, 50 points are given, for B, 40, C 30 and D 20 points, and F means 0 points. Okay. So we are given that each people got these ratings in different 4 different parameters. Okay. Now high Q is better than best ed. So this was better than best ed. How would we compare this is instead of it we will compare this one. Best ed is better than cosmopolitan, right? First let us check this key. How do we solve such questions? Best ed is better than cosmopolitan, so they have the same rating. So whatever be the weight of any of these parameters, it will not make any difference. And in P also both have same rating, so that means it will not make any difference. Now we are given that best ed is better than cosmopolitan, so B is better than, it has higher rating than cosmopolitan. Now, which is a higher one, right? So if you get C, you will get higher points. So C has higher points. That means the weight of this particular parameter R should be greater than the weight of I, because overall best ed is getting better points. See, in these two, whatever is the weight, it does not matter. So R will be greater than I. So that was the logic here. So you can check out this solution, the detailed solution of this set, that how we figured out the respective weights and figure out that what will be the weight of each of these parameters. So it was a quite good question, difficult one, and not the first set to be solved in the examination. Okay, now if you are really good with every other thing, the easy ones, then only you should touch such kind of sets. Now this was a set asked last year. It said that there are two things that people take, right? One is project and one is test. And it said that the aggregate score is the weighted average of the two, with the weights being positive and adding up to 1. So let us say a person takes a project and a test. Project has a weight of, let us say, P. So test will have a weight of 1 minus P, because it is saying weights being positive and adding to 1. So let us say a person gets 16 project and 80 in test, just taking an example, and the weight of project is, let us say, zero point 0.3 and test is zero point 0.7. So his score will be 16 to zero point 0.3, that is 18, and this is 56. So this is how one had to solve, that whatever is the weight of project, multiply that weight by his score in project, and the weight of test multiply with the score in test and get the values and add to get the total. So there were other conditions given also, you could check it out, CAT 2023, how to figure out these totals. Then another concept which I was discussing, that I had similar thing last year, is change by one or two, right? Okay, so let us look at those sets. We will not be solving these. There was that investment thing, right? So it said that there are some companies, they started in some particular year and ended in some particular year, right? And this is the first year and this is the last year. And it said that each firm raised 1 crore in its first year and last year of existence. And it is saying that the amount increased until it reached maximum and then decreased until the firm closed down. Okay, and no firm raised the same amount of money in 2 consecutive years, so it means that there is change, right? So this is also one of the logics which is tested, that it is either increasing or decreasing, or like things like that. So there was one set in, I think, 2021 2022 also, that there are a number of COVID cases, infections, not COVID, some other infections, it is increasing by one or it is remaining the same. So one had to, like, total number of infections is increasing in an increasing order. So that is another logic tested, like increase by one or two, like which has been recently tested in multiple sets. Now 2009 to 16 it is 21. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Okay, this was again a set which was asked in my slot. So 9 is 1, 16 is 1. Okay, now see this thing, it says that it increases by 1 or 2 every year. Addition of distinct numbers, right? Distinct numbers if you add, so there should be increase till 2012, right? So if it has to be increased, you cannot increase till like 2014 or so. You will not be able to come down to it. Now it is not, it is saying that increased until it reached a maximum and decreased. It is also given that in 2 consecutive years the same amount is not there. Okay, so it will increase or it will decrease, and it is not that alternate increase or decrease. First it will increase, then it will decrease. So let us do one thing, basic numbers, right? Basic numbers means take 1 2 3 4, Let us assume that the increase is by only 1. Okay, extreme case देखना, like 1 2 3 4 is 10, 4 3 2 1 is also 10. So if it becomes 1 2 3 4 4 3 2 1, that is 20, right? We have to make 21. So we need to raise one of these numbers. Which number should we raise? See, it says that it is increasing and decreasing. It cannot be same in 2 years. Like if you take this logic, 4 and 4 are same. So make one of them 5. So either it is 5. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Or you can also make 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 2, 1. So 1, 2, 3. These two could be 5 or 4. So this is how we get. Similarly, this form 2011 to 2015 making 10 crores. Okay, 10 crores, how is it possible? 1 and 1 is 2. Okay, now if you take 1 2 3 2 1, how much do we get? 1 2 3 6 9. So we need to make it 10, right? How can we make it 10? We have to increase. See, total is 9, we need to increase by 1. Which number should we increase? This is fixed, we cannot change it. If you make it 3, it will become 1 3 3 2 1, 2 years same, so we cannot increase this. If you make it 3, it will be 3 3 same, we cannot increase it, so it becomes 1 2 4 2 1. Similar to that, the rating one, which we said that 4 distinct numbers, we took the last case that 9876, we were getting 30. I told you that we have to decrease one of the numbers. Which one? We figured out that it should not, it should make different numbers. Similarly, the logic here that we have to increase one of the values by 1. Which value to increase? That is how you think. So if you learn to think this way, definitely you can solve them faster. I mean, people take endless time to solve such problems because they are not able to think through such problems. Now, similarly, in CAT 2022, there was one such question, right? Now, remember one more thing is, like, let's say it is a games and tournament or something like that. If people are exchanging money within them, right? It says that people are playing some game, they have cards, they give cards to one another. The total is constant in such cases. Okay, you need to read the set to understand it completely. The total is constant, right? So the total was 40. So one would get these values. Okay, and then it was about changing by one or two. So it is saying that either one or two was bet in every round. Okay, so that was the case here. The values will increase or decrease by one or two. And second thing was given, the maximum and minimum was given. So the values will be within that range. It will not go beyond that maximum. It will not be less than that minimum. So it was a change of one or two game. So using that, one had to solve this set. Definitely not an easy set to do, but still, if you have sufficient time, you can solve this set. So sometimes it happens that in the examination you may not be able to solve such sets completely, but partially you can solve and answer some of the questions. Okay, so remember that you are not supposed to solve sets completely. Okay, it is not about solving the sets. Read all the sets. Ensure that you read all four sets so that you understand that some set will be solved partially, some set should be solved completely. If you had solved this set partially, you could have answered one or two questions. So that is the key, shuffling between the sets. Do not stick to one set because kahin na kahin फंस सकते हो. But at the time when you realize that okay, I can answer one or two questions, I have thought of logics, maybe I have figured out half of the portion, attempt two questions, move on to another set. Because by looks you cannot determine which is easy, which is difficult. Next is scheduling, which has been often tested in CAT these days. One or the other set you will get on these. Like it said that there are 8 seminars, and these are A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and 10 a.m., 10:30 a.m., 30-minute slots, right? So 30-minute slots are 9 a.m., 9:30, 10, and 10:30. So you'll have to make slots like this, and then based on the given conditions you had to fill the slots. So this is typically easy to moderate sets. I would say that these are easy to moderate sets. So if you get a scheduling based, make a table and solve them. So of course there have to be conditions that need to be met. So this is one of the topics which is a predictable one. often asked. Last year also there was a set. It talked about rights. Okay, so like college timetable and all such things, right? There is a timetable of students and all such things could be tested. So it says that rides begin at 9 a.m. and must be completed by 5 p.m. and the ride lasts 1 hour. So you make slots like 9 to 10, 10 to 11, 11 to 12, 12 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5. So there were just three people. This was a doable set in the examination. Okay, there were some conditions one had to keep in mind, that a person is taking break in between, waiting for someone else. Price of the ride was given 20 rupees, 30 rupees, 50 rupees. So some additional conditions were there, but the basic principle was this scheduling, like 10 to 11. If it is scheduled between 10 to 11, another person cannot take a ride between 10 to 11, has to wait and take the next ride. So this was that scheduling plus some logic involved, that one will have to wait for another person to complete the ride. So doable set, I would rate this as a moderate one, not a difficult one, and could have been attempted in the examination. So make timeline like, let's say A is scheduled from 9 to 10, 10 to 11. So if some person is waiting, will wait for this person to finish the ride, can start that ride from 11 to 12. Then Venn diagram. And sometimes there are table based questions, sometimes there are Venn diagram based questions. If a table is explicitly given, you know that there is a table. But if there is a caselet, especially it happens in caselet, right? Many a times we tend to draw tables, but later realize that Venn diagram would be a better option. Now we will look at a few examples where Venn diagram should be made and table should be made. Venn diagram should be made when there is overlap. Whenever there is an overlap, make a Venn diagram. When there is no overlap, in that case, make table. No need to make Venn diagram in that scenario. So let us look at a few sets which were asked in CAT. 2022, there are 15 girls and some boys among the graduating students. They are planning a get together, which can be either a 1 day event, 2 day event, or 3 day event. Okay, then there were singers and dancers, and we are given that there are 10 dancers in the class, so singers and dancers is given to us, that is fine. It says some students are not interested in attending, that is also fine. Those who are interested in attending 3 day event are also interested in attending 2 day event. Those who are interested in attending 2 day event are also interested in attending 1 day event. So if a person is doing 3 day event, the person is doing 2 day event also. So if it is 3 day event, the person is attending 2 day event also. And if a person is attending 2 day event, the person will attend a 1 day event also. Okay, so it was a Venn diagram based problem, not a table based problem. And we had to make two Venn diagrams. Now again the question comes, should we make one diagram, two Venn diagrams, right? Or should we make a four set Venn diagram? So we are talking gender wise different things. So this does not have all the conditions. There were other conditions also. So we will make two Venn diagrams, one for boys, one for girls. So one Venn diagram will be for boys and another will be for girls. And there are some students not interested. So not interested will be outside. Okay, so these values will come. Only 3 day event, only 2 day event, only 1 day event. And within them, there were some singers and dancers. So you will put, let us say there are 5 students, 2 singers, and no dancers. So that condition could be put in the Venn diagram itself. So please check out the solution of CAT 2022 and you will see that how to solve this set in an effective manner. Next, this was again a set in CAT 2022, different slot. This was, I think, in the second slot, and the previous one was in the, this was in the third slot, the previous one was in the first slot or something like that. It says all the first year students in the computer science department in a university take both courses, AI and ML. Students from other departments, non-CS students, can also take one of these two courses, but not both. Okay. Now there are two different students, right? One is a CS student, one is non-CS student. Then AI and ML. So some people will take AI, some people will take ML in CS, and some people will take AI and ML in non-CS. and some they get different grades A, B, C, or F grade. F grade means fail. So we had to make a table like this A, B, C, and F and put the numbers over here. How many students got grade A, B, C, or got failed in that particular subject for CS and for non CS. So there will be no overlap, right? CS students will be separate. Non-CS will be separate. Similarly, if a person is getting grade A will not get grade B, right? That will be separate numbers, non-overlapping values. So whenever we have non-overlapping values, do not make Venn diagram. Instead, make table in that case. Let's take another example. This was again a set from CAT 2022 where it said that a supermarket sells 320 products and they were bifurcated into four categories like cosmetic, or nutrition. So the products are cosmetic or nutrition, and each of these products was either a foreign product or a domestic product. So when we use the word either, either means one of these two things will happen. Both cannot happen simultaneously. So it could be foreign cosmetic or domestic cosmetic. Similarly, nutrition, foreign nutrition, domestic nutrition. Right? So that was fine up till here. Then it said that each of these products had at least one of the two approvals, FDA or EU. Right? At least one means minimum one. That also means one can have two approvals also. Now, if you further read the instructions, okay, there, if you see one of these 60 domestic products had both the approvals. So that means approvals can be one, two, one or both. Like you can have only FDA, only EU, or you can also have both approvals. So that means there is an overlap in approvals. So one had to make Venn diagram for the approval part. Okay. Now in this question, I mean the visualization part was the key. Now for these four categories, there are individual elements like uh, foreign cosmetics and domestic cosmetics will be entirely different values. They will not overlap. Okay. So you can choose to make a four set Venn diagram also, or you can make four Venn diagrams of two sets. Like this is foreign cosmetics. Similarly, domestic cosmetic. You will make FDA and EU, and because there were some conditions given, only FDA, only EU, both. So based on that, you would fill the Venn diagrams. Similarly, foreign nutrition and domestic nutrition. So four Venn diagrams were needed to solve this in an optimum manner. You can check out its solution also and see how I solved this set. Now, when you solve sets based on Venn diagram, as I said, that Venn diagram is a important thing. There are certain things that people do, right? You need to minimize the number of variables. Now, what I mean by minimizing the number of variables, now when you get a three set Venn diagram, or like first of all, reading the statement, you should be able to figure out that how many set Venn diagram it is. So let us check an example which was asked in CAT 2018. And this was 2018 set. It said that there were 1600 satellites and there were some conditions given over here. There are four categories: broadcasting, communication, surveillance, and others. Others is represented by O. Now, what comes to our mind is there are four elements, so we should make a four set Venn diagram. That is what it comes to our mind. But it is given that they can serve multiple purposes. A satellite serving B, C, or S does not serve O. So O is exclusive. Because if you make a four set Venn diagram, you will have to make 16 regions, right? That would make too much of it, right? Instead of that, make O separate. So make O separate and take the other three like this: B, C, S. Now, another thing, what people do is, and I have seen a lot of people teaching it this way, right? That's why I feel that they are very uh, I mean, average teachers, they will ask you to take variables A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Why to write the variables, right? First, read the values, na? Read the conditions, then decide that how many variables do you need. So, do not put the variables instantly. Okay, what I said was minimize the use of variables. And whenever you have to fill a Venn diagram, right? Try to fill overlapping region first. If the condition is given for overlap region, fill that overlap first. Now, for example, if we see this condition 2, it says the number of satellites serving all three VCS is 100. So this is 100. Okay, that is one thing to do. Next is the number of satellites serving B, C, and S are in the ratio 2 ratio 1 ratio 1. So BCS means this total thing. Now, if you take this total, it has four components. So instead of writing variables of like 2x, x, and x, let us first focus on the internal components, right? As I said, that overall should be taken later, internal components should be filled first. Now we will hold this sentence. Next condition says number of satellites exclusively serving C is the same as the number of satellites excluding serving S. So this equals to this, and this is 30% of the number of satellites exclusively serving B. Now what is 30%? 30% is 3 by 10, right? 3 by 10 means take one of the variables as 3a, another will be like 10a and 3a. Take the variables 10a and 3a. So 30% of serving B. So take this as 10a. So these two variables will be 3a. So instead of taking variables from a to g, we have reduced the number of variables significantly. Okay. The number of satellites serving O is the same as those serving both C and S but not B. So O is same. Let us say this is B. C and S but not B. So this is B. Then you can take another variable and solve this. So we reduced the number of variables. So instead of taking A to G, we probably will need A, B and maybe C and D, maximum 4 variables. So try to put the overlapping regions first and try to minimize the use of variables, because the more variables you use, the equations become complex, right? You need to reduce the complexity of the equations. And when you see complex equations, आपको A से लेके G तक variable दिखते हैं, you feel scared that there are 7 variables, but actually it can be much less than that. So that is another learning related to the Venn diagrams. Now, the next thing is, if you get charts in the examination, remember that the charts are going to be easy. These are going to be observation based DI sets. Now, here's an example which was asked in CAT 2022, and this was a sitter question, right? It says about there were two charts in this. I've shown only one over here. It shows that the data for 4 companies, the first plot shows the revenues and cost. Now in this also, some people what they do is they write the revenues and the cost. Okay, please watch the solution of this set. You will realize that how easily you could have solved this set within 5 minutes. Because people teach you कि cost note करो, note down the values from the graph and note down the values. No, it was just observation based. Okay, so we are given that profit is revenue minus cost. Okay, अब ये लाइन खींच देते हैं. Whenever revenue is equal to cost, this is 20 20 40 40 60 60 80 80 100 100. So whenever revenue is equal to cost, that means there is no profit, no loss. Okay, revenue, if it is more, then there will be profit. In this side there will be loss. Okay, now this people will not teach you. They will say कि अच्छा ये values note कर लो, table ये यहाँ से graph से values निकाल लो और ये value निकाल लो, subtract कर लो, you will get the profit, right? Okay, if they ask you the profit value, you have to do this. But the questions were which has the highest profit. Okay, highest profit निकालना है. So we should know that profit is revenue minus cost. If the difference is very high, the profit will be high. Okay, now the distance is the difference. Now, without even calculating anything, I will tell that C in 2021 has the highest profit. If the question is asking which of these has the highest profit, I will directly mark C as the answer, because I know that it is farthest from the profit line. ये line of profit है, इसके beyond profit है, इधर loss है. Now, if the question asks how many products are then lost, I will say that only one product has a loss, because it is behind the profit line. Which has the highest profit? C has the highest profit. Which has the highest average profit? Okay, suppose it is saying asking that which company has the highest average profit. Okay, or lowest average. So let us say lowest average profit. So D is running in loss over here, and it is almost no profit, no loss. Okay, it is no profit, no loss. I mean, this is a very rough. And D has the lowest profit here. So least average will be of D. We can easily say that, right? So like this, chart reading is simple. If you observe the charts, you will be able to answer the questions. If you get a chart based DI, that is going to be a delight in the examination. Now, this was a set as in CAT 2019 radar chart. Again, calculation was not needed. Students were trying to figure out that whether it is 76 or 77. Okay, आपको करना ही नहीं observation. It is asking on which aspect the median score is the least. Are they asking what is the value of the median score? No, they are asking where it is least. Median means central value. Okay, central value is this 1, 2, 3. So here this median is around 50s. 1, 2, 3. This is the median value. 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 5 values. Which of these is the least closest to the center? ठीक है, अब closest कौन सा center में से? Just check out and answer. You did not have to calculate all the values. Okay, so remember that chart does not mean that you have to calculate all the values. You should know how to read a chart in an effective manner. Next question is was in CAT 2018. Again, that was a pie chart, triple layer pie chart. So what we had to do was we were given that these are the quarterly sales, right? Somewhere the annual sales was given, quarterly sales was given. So if you have to find month on month, like if you have to find this quarter, right? So we'll just add these three values, you will get this quarter. Find, add these three values, you will get this quarter. This quarter is given, so add these four, you will get annual sales. So it was about just adding those quarterly sales to get the annual sales, adding monthly sales to get the quarterly sales. So some conditions were given, like suppose we have to find December. So October plus November plus December is quarterly sales, you will get the December sale. So it was as simple as that. Okay, so the charts, if you get, they are really going to be easy ones. Most of the sets, if you see, of graphs have been easy in the past. So these were some techniques that will help you master DILR. Some of the things which you can think through now. If you sit in the examination, do not think that everything is new. There will be something from the past in some form or the other. So if you watch this video, you understood that what are the different techniques, addition of small numbers, addition of consecutive numbers, okay, average based thing, weighted average, increasing the values, decreasing the values by one or two. So these are some of the topics that have been tested in the past. So if you have solved CAT 2017 to 23 sets and understood them in a very good manner, that should be sufficient for you to able to figure out at least 2 to 3 sets out of those which you can decide and solve. And as I told you, do not focus on sets, focus on questions. Solve a set after 5 6 minutes. If you realize that it is going deep, switch to another set, because definitely there will be some set in the examination which will be easy to attempt. Do not target any number of questions and be prepared for any surprises. It might be possible that you might get more sets than usual. ऐसा भी हो सकता है, they change the pattern, they try to give you 5 sets. So do not go by that number of sets thing. Try to maximize the number of questions. Try to see all the sets. Pick one of the sets like based on your familiarity. Let us say if it's a games and tournaments, if you feel that it is not something that is your cup of tea, start with some number based puzzle or scheduling based puzzle. Try that, spend some time, then switch to another set. So all the best for CAT 2024. I will be taking the examination in the first slot itself, and I'll be coming live and taking the analysis on our Instagram channel. So please don't forget to follow us on Instagram as well. And if you have exam on the second and third slot, you can check out my analysis for the CAT 2024 examination pattern and other things. And in case you are preparing for ZAT, also, so we have this crash course, and we have slashed the prices of this crash course. So it has the recordings of all the classes available that we had thus far. We will be conducting DM classes which are yet to happen, plus some ZAT revision classes which will take, that are upcoming classes. For CAT portion, we had already covered all the syllabus. So you can enroll in the course. You will get access to our ZAT mocks, DM test, as well as grammar course also. So in case you wish to appear in ZAT and are looking for a reliable course for preparation, which has covered everything in detail, you can check it out. And if you are preparing for CAT 2025 or know someone who has been preparing for CAT 2025, please don't forget to recommend our institute to them, because this is the best place they can prepare for any other MBA entrance examinations, not only CAT but also all other MBA entrance examinations. So we are offering this best possible offer in which we will have recorded concept videos, solved questions, basics to advanced on all these topics, topic wise practice sheets, doubt resolution group. There will be live doubts solving sessions also. In VA, we will not only cover just the CAT portion, but we will have grammar and vocab also covered in this, like idioms, phrases, different kind of grammar rules, etc. And in LR, we will have OMET topics like syllogisms, blood relations, and directions, clocks, calendars, etc., which are asked in different examinations. So this is going to be a comprehensive course for all MBA entrance examinations for the next season. Okay, and this will be a self-paced batch. It will not have live classes. We will have recorded concepts, so you can cover the syllabus as per your own convenience. And the price is just 15,000, unbeatable price. You will not get this price anywhere in the market with such quality content. And for the first 100 students, we are offering it for just 12,000 rupees. So try to be in that first 100 so that you do not miss out on this golden opportunity. So this was about some techniques that you can use in DILR while attempting the sets. So if you watched this entire video, please don't forget to like this video and remember these techniques in mind while attempting the sets. I'm sure that one or these techniques will help you in some of the sets and you will be able to ace DILR this time. So please, I'm assuming that you must have solved past CAT papers of DILR. If not, please check out those particular sets. I have created the video solutions of all sets from 2017 to 23 on my channel Aptitude Jab. So please go through them and see that how to solve those sets in an effective manner. So wish you all the best for CAT 2024.